So for today's lesson, we're going to take what we know about angles, complementary, supplementary, and vertical, and we're going to go ahead and use those to figure out your angle lengths or angle measures. So the first one we're going to go ahead and review again is complementary. It's the sum of two angles that equal 90 degrees. So our equation for this one would be 60 degrees plus 30 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. And there's no missing terms there, so we can easily, we're just checking to make sure that works. And for our supplementary, we have anything that's going to equal our 180 degrees. And so in this case, we have our two angles of 115 and 65. And then we have our vertical angles. Again, as the two opposite angles are equal to each other, so we can say that 50 degrees is opposite to 50 degrees. So they're equal. And 130 is opposite of 130. So those are equal. So let's go ahead and take this information and figure out some problems that have some variables in them, okay? So my first one I have is 55 degrees and x. I'm going to go ahead and take those two angles, and I notice that it is a complementary, so they're going to add up to 90 degrees. So I do 55 plus x is equal to 90. Now I've set up a one-step equation here, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract by 55 on both sides, and I get an answer of x is equal to 35. Now I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure that works. I'm just going to go ahead and take what I got for x and plug it in. So 35 plus 55, and yes, that does equal 90 degrees, so yes, that does work. Alright, number 2, I have 7x and 2x. I notice that this is a supplementary angles, and I know those add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to do 7x plus 2x is equal to 180. I'm going to go ahead and combine 7x and 2x to equal 9x, and that is going to equal 180. Let's draw my line down here. Divided by 9 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 20. Now I'm not finished with this one. I need to actually plug x in. So if I plug 20 in here, I should get an answer of 40. 2 times 20. And if I plug 20 into here, I get 7 times 20 is 140. I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure those add up to 180. 140 plus 40 does equal 180, so yes, it does work. Okay. And number 3, I have an example here of vertical angles. I notice that I have two lines that are crossing, and then my angles are on opposite sides. So my equation for this one's going to be 5x plus 10 equals 135, because I know vertical angles equal each other. Go ahead and subtract by 10 on both sides. Bring down my 5x. I get 125. Divide by 5. And I get x is equal to 25. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug x in there to make sure to get my value. So 25 going into here, we say 5x plus 10. So 5 times 25 plus 10. 5 times 25 is 125. Plus another 10 equals 135. And so yes, 135 equals 135. What I could go ahead and do now is you have 3 examples to try on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and try our 3 examples that have been given to you and find the missing values. Alright, number 1 here. Alright, I notice that there are vertical angles that are opposite, so I'm going to do my equation as 5x minus 3 is equal to 82, and I find that my value of x is 17. Once I plug that in just to check and make sure, I do see that it is 82 degrees, so that does work and they are equal. Number 2, I have my complementary angles, so I know that those two angles together equal 90 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and do 52 plus 26 plus x, and then I find that x is equal to 12. Oops. Put that back up. So I find that x is equal to 12, and when I check to make sure it works, or I check to see what the value of my missing angle is, I get that the missing value is 38 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure it works by adding those two together just to make sure they add up to 90 degrees. And lastly is my supplementary angles. I have two angles that equal it, so I go ahead and use those in my equation. I do 3x plus 5 plus 5x minus 9 is equal to 180. I get my value of x to be 23, plug it in, and I notice my two angle values are 74 and 106. And when I do add those up, they do equal 180 together, just to check and make sure.